G'day everyone, Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse Marine, Sweet Street at Warners Bay, your Newcastle Honda Marine dealer. Thursday, guys, and of course the Big Fish Bonanza out of Lake Macquarie this Saturday, Sunday. The competition starts 7 o'clock in the morning going through to 10 past 5 each evening. So if you're interested in coming down possibly Saturday and into Sunday, weigh-ins nowadays generally around about 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. As you do know, guys, a lot more of now is a lot more release. A lot of the vessels that are coming in are more flying flags, but there will be the opportunity there that possibly someone's going to catch a big shark, marlin, or indeed yellowfin. So look forward to catching up down there. Should be a very interesting competition. And of course, our forecast for this weekend is same as today. East-northeast tomorrow, east-northeast Saturday, but Saturday might be 20-25, so it's going to get a bit blustery in the afternoon. Start off northeast on Sunday, but what they're telling me, and it's actually been moving forward, the southerly that was predicted in the AM of Monday morning now looks like it could even be as early as 2 or 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, with the possibility of some thunderstorms. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what goes on. Last Saturday, we did have the opportunity to go out there, tag the striped marlin, which was nice to break the drought, I've got to say. Lost another one and caught a couple of small yellowfin, but on the Sunday there was a few other yellowfin around, and I know Ryan Faulkner and his team on Royal Rumble got a very nice yellowfin out a bit wider, 39.5 kilo, and caught some others. So there are some better yellowfin tuna out there. No real signs of blue marlin, but with the yellowfin and the water temperature as high as 26 degrees out wider, it does look very inviting. Port Stephens last weekend, that little bit of an inshore bite, virtually from Uralla right the way up to Searles Rocks, and no doubt up towards Foster, where you're now starting to see quite a few black marlin in on that inshore fishery. I reckon the best water we seen last weekend was about 60 fathoms. It was a very nice blue, and there was birds and bait everywhere. And I know on the Sunday there was the odd better quality dolphin fish, and with that 26 degree water, guys, out wider, reports now of the odd wahoo coming down. So that is a real idea of what is actually going on water temperature. This weekend, one of those bit of events, we'll just see how it goes. The full moon, of course, will be Monday night, and our tides for this weekend, very important for us in particular, is 10 to 8 high tide Saturday morning, 1.97 metres, so a really good high tide. But we get 2 tide changes, which is great. 2:40 p.m. in the afternoon for that low tide, around about 0.3. So a very big changeover of water, and that is something also to consider when you're crossing the bar, because that is a very big tidal exchange, looking around about 1.6 metres. So it will have a bit of giddy up on it on that way out, so just be careful when you're doing that. Other reports, yes, there are a few dolphin fish on the fad, but it's just small ones, guys. And the biggest improvement this week for our offshore scene has been a real increase in bonito. Still no size to those bonito, 20 to 30 centimetres at best, but quite a lot of them around. So it is good to see, and certainly encouraging to see the numbers of those bonito increase. Still really good trag on the inshore and still those reds, but that increase in bonito is a good thing. I think those offshore mulloway running up to this full moon is another advantage, and definitely getting a few live baits out there early in the morning I think is really the key. And while you're fishing for your trag, the benefit of trying to wrangle up a few mulloway. And on the beaches, been really quiet. Look, there are a few brim and whiting, the odd flatty, odd mulloway, but it's not really doing anything spectacular. I think probably, if anything, Newcastle's doing a little bit better off the Stockton Beach area. And of course, Newcastle Harbour is fishing really well for mulloway, as is Lake Macquarie. I just spoke to this young man over here, Ollie. He just helped us out actually, because there's a pelican trying to eat bait entangled around fishing line. He was kind enough to go out there and grab it. So it's great to see that everyone's looking after the seabird life. But he was telling they got a 65 centimetre mulloway only today and a couple of nice flatties. And that's what we're seeing in the lake. A real variety in these fish sizes, fish 50, 55s, those mid 60s, and the odd bigger one that suddenly jumps up to about 1.10 m. But it's really good to see that recruitment through there, and still good reports of flathead and a lot of brim and whiting in the system. Now, unless you're using tube worms, live yabbies or live prawns, it's very difficult to get these whiting on the flats, but there's still quite a lot of whiting on those flats, and again, the tube worms seem to be the pick. I think the lake this week, obviously a lot more people back to work, school goes back next week, it's taken the big deep breath in as it starts to now relax a little bit until Easter. But there's still a little bit of activity on the lake, some nice crabs around, which is good to see. And about 10 days time, or approximately thereabouts, that will be then the February run. And I think that will definitely be the last of the prawns that are coming out of Lake Macquarie. But that increase in squid numbers has been fantastic, and that will now continue well into February, right up the way to April. So there's plenty of opportunity, guys, to get out there. All in all, the weekend doesn't look too bad. I think that southerly is going to be a bit of a bugger coming in early on Sunday afternoon, but we'll just have to see that roll out. Hopefully a few people catch a few fish to weigh in, something to, for everyone to get the spectators to come down and see us down at the weigh station in front of the RSL. Good luck. See you next week.